Hi, and welcome to Faith and Flower. I'm Robin, and I'm so glad that you're here today. Winter is here in Central Texas, and not only does the cold weather outside inspire me to cozy up inside, but I also find winter to be a great time to reflect on the past year and to set new goals or recommit to old ones. I loved reading about your goals for 2024 in my last video, and of course, we share many of the same. In today's video, I'll be sharing mine, which are basically elements of intentional and simple living, something that I talk about a lot on my channel. First and foremost is to continue reading the Bible daily. I'm still using the Bible Recap app. I will have a link for you down in the description box if you aren't familiar with it, but it can be accessed very easily on your phone. There's a daily reading plan that takes you through the Bible chronologically in just 1 year, and along with that, there is a daily video summarizing what you've read along with commentary from Tara Lee Cobble. I think you'll love it too, especially if the idea of reading through the Bible from cover to cover intimidates you. I challenge you to check out the link and give it a try. I promise it's life-changing. In addition to my daily Bible reading, I lead a Bible study group with some friends from church. This year we are reading Experiencing God by Henry, Richard, and Mike Blackaby. I'm very excited about this study. 2 of my friends have gone through it before and want to do it again, so I'm sure it will be amazing. It's a 12-week study. Each week has 5 lessons followed by a video teaching. If you are looking for a new Bible study this year, I will have it linked down in the description box so that you can check it out. Also, let me know in the comments about your daily time in the Bible and what you were reading or studying this year. I'd really love to know. I have learned that this daily uninterrupted time dedicated to being in God's Word is essential. Everything I do is influenced by it, and it's the only way that I know of to experience spiritual growth. Time with God each day draws me closer to Him and allows me to be the person He created me to be. Something that I committed to towards the end of 2023 was to make a point of trying new recipes more often, even weekly when possible. I have a new one to share with you today that we tried this week. It's called Cowboy Lasagna, and I'll link it for you down in the description box. When we travel to and from Texas to North Carolina, like we did over Christmas, we often stop to spend time with our family in Alabama. While we were there this time, my uncle told me about this new recipe he recently tried, and then he sent it to me. He made it sound so good, and he was not kidding. It was delicious. A huge hit with Patrick and Peyton, me as well, and it was perfect for cold winter weather. It's definitely a meat lover's lasagna with ground beef, ground pork, and pepperoni in the sauce. It's very hearty and comforting and surprisingly easy to make. In a large, heavy skillet over medium heat, lightly brown the ground beef and sausage. And the directions say to be sure to keep the meat chunky, not finely separated while cooking. Then you can add the pepperoni, tomatoes, tomato paste, oregano, salt, pepper, garlic, onion, and 2 cups of water. Bring to a simmer, uncovered for 30 minutes, and your sauce is complete. Super easy. One of the things that makes this sauce so interesting is the pepperoni. It really adds a lot of flavor and texture. The recipe didn't specify, but I decided to give the sliced pepperoni a rough chop before adding it to the pan. My pepperoni was from our freezer and not quite all the way thawed, but it warmed up quickly, and then I added the tomatoes and the tomato paste. The only seasoning called for is a tablespoon of dried oregano, a pinch of salt, and some ground black pepper. Once I added the water, the sauce came together beautifully, and I let it simmer for about 30 minutes while I gathered the rest of the ingredients. Assembling the lasagna was easy, especially because I like to use the no-boil lasagna noodles, and we get the ones from Barilla that are gluten-free. The instructions say that in the bottom of a 9 by 13 inch baking pan, spread a layer of the prepared sauce. Top with a layer of the lasagna noodles and the ricotta, and I actually use cottage cheese instead just because we prefer that, mozzarella and Parmesan cheeses. Repeat, ending with the sauce, noodles, and cheeses. I don't know why, but the order of everything was a little confusing to me, so I just went with it and it turned out just fine. Somehow I managed to have half of the sauce left over, so I froze it, and now I'm ready to throw everything together even faster next time. Bake until brown and bubbly at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 40 minutes. I realized that with the no-bake noodles that covering the dish most of the way through the baking time would have been better, so I'll do that next time. The noodles were a little bit al dente, but still super yummy. This new recipe was a keeper for us. I hope you'll give it a try too. About a year and a half ago, when we remodeled our kitchen, I was so excited to find this retro-inspired microwave, which looks so cute out on our counter. It has worked great, right up until this week, when it suddenly stopped heating. Needless to say, I was disappointed, and of course, it was just outside of its warranty. But I found one to replace it on Amazon, and it has been great. I don't do much cooking in the microwave. We just need a small one for reheating food and for warming up our corn-filled bags that we use to warm our hands and cozy up with during the winter months. After cleaning the counter and giving our new microwave a test run, I put everything back like before, making sure not to block the side vent, and I'm pleased with the new look and happy to once again have a functioning microwave. Last year I got this cookbook, or should I say handbook, that my friend Mary over at Mary's Nest wrote. I love learning from Mary, and I have been looking forward to trying some more things in an effort to make things from scratch, like mustard and condiments. I've been making mayonnaise for quite some time, so why not mustard? This one is fermented, so great for gut health and also very easy to make. Because her recipe calls for a full cup of dry mustard, I decided to quarter the recipe. I didn't have quite that much, and I also thought it would be a great way to give it a test run. In a jar, I combined a quarter cup of yellow dry mustard, 3 tablespoons of filtered water at room temperature, 1 tablespoon of brine that I had from a previous ferment. So I took this from my sauerkraut. Next, I added a 1/4 teaspoon of fine ground sea salt, 1/8 of a teaspoon of ground turmeric, and just a tiny pinch of paprika, and I have the smoked paprika, so we'll see how that turns out. After combining all the ingredients, I secured a lid on top and will leave it on the countertop to ferment for just a couple of days. I can't wait to see how it turns out. Another goal is to get back to making more DIYs for my beauty products and also cleaning products. So I made a homemade body oil this week to soothe my itchy winter skin. I found the recipe over at the Simply Earth website where I buy all of my essential oils. I'll link it for you below. It uses camellia seed oil as the base, which is an excellent hydrator for the skin and also has some anti-aging benefits. The oils I'm adding are lavender, ylang ylang, which I'm going to substitute for the geranium in the recipe. I'm not a fan of geranium, but love the floral scent of ylang ylang. Also, frankincense and sage. This mixture not only smells amazing, but each of the essential oils have benefits that help to soothe my eczema-prone skin during the cold and dry months. I love plants, and I have been a longtime fan of orchids, but I have been struggling since we moved to our new home to find the right spot for my orchids to thrive, and I'm happy to report that I have finally found the perfect spot here in Patrick's office, which has the only south-facing window. I spent time repotting them several months back, and they are rewarding me with flower spikes, so I have some beautiful blooms on the way. It's a small reminder to keep trying, practice patience, and not give up, which is a great way to set the tone for a new year. Making time for a hobby is a great way to nurture creativity. For me, it has been reteaching myself to crochet. I committed to setting aside time to enjoy it back in the fall, and I find it to be a lot of fun. I have planned a couple of new projects and love picking it up whenever I need a break during the day, and also I enjoy working on it while watching TV with my family at night. Crocheting turns out to be a hobby that I can do in the car or airplane, so when we travel, I can take it along. I also love that it's something I can do while watching TV or listening to a podcast or audiobook. I started with small projects like dishcloths, and now I'm making scarves. I made the first one for my sister's Christmas gift, and then I made another from a different pattern with different shades of purples and grays that I gave to my mom. This is the same pattern as the one I made for my mom, but I'm using grays and blues this time, and I already have the yarn to make one in neutral colors. I'm in love with this pattern and the yarn. It's so soft and it's completely washable, which I think is great, and I will link both the pattern and the yarn in the description box for you. Here's what I've done so far. This is 1/4 of the scarf. I'll repeat this pattern 3 more times. It's a very generous scarf that is so soft and cozy, and I have a few people in mind that I want to gift them to. And I might even keep one for myself. Now tell me about your favorite hobby in the comments. If you do something creative, what are you working on? I'd really love to hear. Several of my goals this year are sort of self-improvement oriented. As homemakers, we are devoted to serving our families, friends, and communities, so that still needs to be the priority. But as the saying goes, you cannot pour out from an empty cup. So nurturing yourself is important, and scheduling in some time to yourself is a good thing. Along those same lines, I love to read, but I haven't been setting time aside for it nearly as much as I used to lately. The wintertime is perfect for curling up with a good book, so I am trying to allow a little more time for that too. Have you read any good books lately? I would love to know your recommendations. Our family loves board games, and Ticket to Ride is probably our favorite. Peyton received the expansion set that includes a map board of both India and Switzerland, and we are all looking forward to playing. And I'd like to spend more time this winter enjoying some game night fun again. When our boys were growing up, we had a weekly family game night, and I have such good memories of that time we spent together. We still love playing games with them and with our daughter-in-law whenever we get together. We love playing with the grandparents, our nieces and nephews, and many of our friends too. I just added a new section to my Amazon store so that you can get all of our family's recommendations for your family and friends. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and be sure to subscribe so that we can meet up here again soon. I appreciate the time that you spend with me here, and I look forward to talking with you in the comments. So leave one below, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, have a wonderful week.